When we talk about technology sector, we have to be very clear what it is, because the technology sector, if you look at the broader technology, which may be measured by indices such as NASDAQ 100 technology companies, actually performed very well. We saw about a 30% growth of this average technology index. However, it's not a homogeneous mass.
The ripple effects from the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank on Friday are being felt across the world.
European markets have closed down more than 3%, spooked by a major sell-off of shares in the Swiss banking giant Credit Suisse.
There are some clear winners and some clear losers in that mix. And then there are startups. Clearly, this was seemingly a bloodbath, as many of them ceased to exist. Many have seen their valuations slashed, to the 10th or even 100th of what they were coming out of the pandemic. But that is only natural, I would say. There's a reason why we call them ventures, or why we call it venture capital, because they are inherently very risky. The outcomes are completely unpredictable.
Star was formed in 2008, and really with the motivation that the world is going to virtualize. And by that I mean companies will do less and less of the things they do internally and hire external experts to do products, to market their services, to do recruiting. It's really anchoring yourself in the future, a future that lies 3, 5, or 8 years out. And what we find with our clients is that while they have a general idea of what their strategy is, they haven't really articulated as what we think of as an end game, as sort of the what does my business look like? What does the environment look like? What customers am I serving out there? How do my products look? So we sort of create a safe environment for our clients we sort of seek to describe what does the macro environment look like, what do we think their competitors look like out there. And then we use that as a sort of a construct for the end game and defining what the world will look like. And then we stand out there in the future and look back into the present, and we hold the present into the future.
When we think about Endgame, we think from the user and the business perspective. What wants to be achieved? What's the goal? What should people be able to do? What should the company be able to do? What's actually the value you want to create? Once this has been identified and is clear, we can go and select the proper technology to build it or to get there. So technology is a tool set. You need to pick the right tools to get where you want to be. You need the tools for your craftsmanship of building solutions, and that's where we are here and that's where we help.
When we develop end games for clients, of course, these end games don't just fall into our lap. They are quite hard earned, so to speak. And one of the first steps is really to make our clients very comfortable about the future. And that's sometimes easier said than done when you want to do that. And what we tend to do is we get our clients and our people together in a workshop format for 2 or 3 days. And we make sure that we seek to paint a picture of the future.
My experience, it's been really productive for them to understand where we want to go, what's our goals and objectives, and then help us augment the strategy to get there. And in some cases that may be technical, in some cases they can maybe even ask better questions than we understand in terms of understanding the customer or the problem and helping us through that process. So it's really about understanding the long-term goals and objectives, and then helping us define them, and then figuring out where they could be the most productive and engaged to help us reach those goals.
Carl Zeiss, which is a leader in optics. It's an 175-year-old company that has its beginnings in the invention of a microscope. We worked and continue to work with their consumer lens division, which effectively is a part of the company that produces prescription lenses for people who wear glasses. The company found itself in a very typical situation where they saw their competitive barriers start to erode, and erode very rapidly, when lower cost competitors came to market from Asia, for example. We embarked on this incredible journey of analyzing and redesigning their entire value chain.
Star was the second half of the brain, so to say. So they were the disruptive thinkers, the agile, fast think tanks, and we were keeping the compliances, we were keeping all the rules and all the laws from within a corporate and also from the external world in a very regulated market like medical products. So Star enabled us in a way to do a disruptive product because you have this innovator's dilemma that you want to be fast and at the same time you have to be compliant, and definitely size always is and should be. So we were just two halves, I would say, and were therefore disruptive and fast, yet still keeping all the regulations.
Star helps companies define, design, and build very disruptive products and services. And of course, that has a sense of purpose that attracts the modern workforce. It serves as a magnet when you can be part of something that changes the industry or disrupts an existing incumbent way of doing things. But having said that, that is only half of the answer. The other half is culture. We place a lot of emphasis on fostering, screening for, and investing into the culture of what we call empathetic challengers.
We don't just want to build things. We want to build things that has a positive impact on the world, on the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, the communities that we're part of. Digital products are definitely not sustainable by definition. If you think about the amount of energy we use creating digital solutions, it is definitely not sustainable. So it's super important that designers keep asking questions, keep pushing their clients to make the right decisions, to decide where are we going to host our solution, how are we going to make our user interfaces in a more sustainable way. We care about tomorrow, we care about the future. That is also why we're talking about Endgame. And together with our clients, this is something that we can then create a positive future for everyone, basically.
We are more interested in providing a long-lasting vision, sometimes also we call it endgame, to make sure that they get where they need to be. And with all of this AI, there's another two perspectives. One is technology. So you need to use the right technology to achieve your business goals, but remember that technology basically is only an enabler. It serves a purpose. AI is not a purpose in itself. That's one thing. And the other thing with AI, more than with any other technology we have been using in the software realm so far, is to be responsible with it.
We don't want to just live in the future. We don't want to just live in the present. We want a good presence, but we want it to lead somewhere. And just like I started out by saying that companies sometimes get a little bit lost because they live life, one day at a time, humans also do that. So I think for anyone thinking in endgames, think about where I want to go, and then getting to some sort of peace with where I want to go, and then defining the journey to get out there is something that is very useful also for individuals. So I think endgame is very powerful in all aspects of life.
What makes me very excited about the future is that I believe the endgame thinking as part of our core DNA has a potential of helping us scale this company to an industry leader. So there'll be those who succeed, there'll be those that won't and just kind of chug along or become less relevant. And ultimately, employees are going to vote with their feet when it comes to which tribe to join.